Have you ever wondered why the news plays the same 5 stories again and again? Let me give you a little hint. Brainwashing and repetition is the most basic form of brainwashing. Join me as we look at the news cycle and talk about why the mainstream media is so gutless and afraid to report the truth. All right, happy Friday. Welcome to Troubled Minds News. What's going on, guys? I'm your host, Michael Strange, and, this is the show where the conspiracy is the news itself, and that's always been the tongue-in-cheek joke about this, and the reason why somebody's got to do the news, because, well, the people that are doing the news continually just pump propaganda and expect us to believe the garbage they're selling, and, nah, we don't have to. So that's what this is about. That's what this show's about. And that's what's going on. So this show actually began as a part of another show called Troubled Minds Radio. Most of you guys know this. And the thing is that we talked about all kinds of stuff on that show. Still do. Crazy stuff, like way out there stuff. Last night we talked about a time before the moon, to give you an idea. And we used to do a news segment on that show, and it just got larger and larger. The news got more and more stuff to talk about, and so we just broke it off and said, you know what, forget it. We're just going to do a whole news show, and that'll be that. We'll just do news by itself, and it's turned out to be pretty damn good so far. People, a lot of good feedback, and I think that this format's pretty fantastic. So we go for approximately an hour and just talk about sort of quick hit news stories as we go, and not just not like you would expect, not the propaganda news like CNN talking points or Fox News talking points. None of that crap, because it is just garbage. So instead of doing that, there's there's definitely much better news out there that really deserves to be highlighted. And that's really what this is, sort of pointing out some of the propaganda, looking at the news cycles, and then, of course, talking about real news, actually real news, not garbage. And that's what's up. So, as you know, this transparency is an important thing to me, and if you guys want to check my sources, they will always be linked. So when this goes up to the podcast feed, you will be able to find all of the sources linked, and I'll actually put them in the chat today. So if you want to follow up on me and double check to make sure I'm not, pulling over some shenanigans on you, then please do. Please double check. I'll read some of these articles in part. I won't read them in their entirety because that's too long and not necessary. You guys can have the access to that and read it yourself if you want to read the entire thing. So anyway, that's what the show is. That's what's going on. That's what we're doing. And of course, part of that whole transparency process is open lines. We're always taking phone calls, and you can join the Discord and be part of this. And Troubled Minds News, you can reach us at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037, and put you on the show. Easy as that. Also, click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. That's the official website. And come hang out in the Discord. And in light of recent events, I also got to point out that there are some rules in the Discord. Specifically, number 4, there's only a list of 4 rules, and it's very simple. Number 4 says, keep an open mind, and please don't forget that you might be wrong. We're all guilty of it, as it is a symptom of sometimes being right. And so if people get the wrong idea when they show up and start telling everybody they're wrong about everything, I don't take it from flat earthers. I don't take it from walking CNN talking points. I don't take that shit from anybody, because why allow that? It's just turns it into a toxic environment where it's combative, argumentative, and all the rest of this BS. And I don't dig it. It's not conducive to a healthy atmosphere. And there are rules for a reason, and there are also just a kind of decorum among people where don't be a douchebag. There you go. Simple as that. So just pointing it out. If you join the Discord, don't expect to stomp in there and tell everybody the way the world is. It's just not the way the world works. Sorry, but okay. Let's start the news, shall we? Let's get to blah blah blah. Let's go to CNBC.com. So good. Yep. We'll get to James Webb Fusion 360. I see there. Let's see. Ghislaine Maxwell will not testify in sex case related to Jeffrey Epstein. Interesting. Did anybody think she would? Oddly enough, remember when we said they were going to try and wrap this case up as fast as possible? This past Friday, a week ago today, the prosecution actually rested their case already, which was only 2 weeks of prosecution, which seems less than. Let's say less than. Here we go. Let's just read the part of the article. British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell on Friday said she would not testify at her trial on federal criminal charges related to her alleged abetting of the late money manager Jeffrey Epstein's sexual abuse of underage girls. Quote, "Your Honor, the government has not proved its case beyond a reasonable doubt, so there's no reason for me to testify," the 59-year-old Maxwell told the judge at her trial in Manhattan federal court. Maxwell's defense lawyers rested their case on Friday. Prosecutors said they will not present evidence or testimony to rebut the defense's case. Oh. Turn the volume up. There we go. Isn't that interesting? She's not going to testify. And why do you think that is? I mean, clearly it is a right we have is to, self-incrimination, all the rest of that stuff, your Fifth Amendment rights. It is a constitutional thing. So she doesn't have to. But why do you think it would be in her best interest not to testify? Right? And why is this thing going to wrap up so fast? So not only that, again, so they are not going to rebut any defense stuff here. So once the defense is done, this trial's done. It's going to go to jury, and then bam, spit it out, and boom, we'll have the thing done. Here we go. Closing arguments in the trial are set for Monday. So 3 weeks is today. So Monday, so at the 3-week mark, we have closing arguments. They're already almost done with this thing. I mean, and this is what you would call basically the trial of the century, is it not? I mean, we're talking about, trafficking young women and boys in some cases as well, at the highest levels of power, and this in and of itself is going to come and go, and it's going to get whisked away, very much like the Vegas shooting, and that's weird to me. That's super weird. She will not testify, and clearly, it's in their best interest to just whip through this, right? To just kind of get this behind them, throw the book at her as the mastermind here. Yeah, if she gets off on this. Yeah, if she walks, no. She walks, no. Is she going to walk? No. I really doubt that. Because they need a fall guy, right? They need a fall guy here. So I think what's happening with this is they're gonna throw the book at her like crazy. Of course, I haven't been following the blow by blows of the case or any of the rest of that stuff, but it's clearly obvious. I mean, the guy actually, was prosecuted once and actually, kind of given a slap on the hand in that whole bit back in Florida, if you remember that. And so he was obviously guilty. There's no ambiguous anything about that. That dude was guilty as sin, and then got slapped again and then put in jail. And then, the whole Epstein didn't kill himself bit. But, so he's guilty as sin. She was the right-hand man, quote, right-hand man. And so what? Yeah, I'd be shocked if she walks, only because this is not this is a seriously bad look for the criminal justice system if she walks. It's a bad look, and I think that's part of it. They know this is a very, very highly charged political thing, and I don't think they're going to let it fly. I think they're going to throw the book at her. She'll probably spend the rest of her life in jail, and that'll be that. And they'll say, "See, we did the justice. The justice was done," right? Even though, I think these rings, actually, these trafficking rings, human trafficking rings, are still all in place, right? They just probably have new people running them. So these things just don't break up like that because, the head of the dragon gets lopped off. It keeps on doing its thing. And so anyway, interesting. The defense did its thing. So we got 2 weeks of the prosecution doing their thing and 1 week of defense, and then Monday is closing arguments. If you can believe that, that is fast. That is incredibly fast for a trial like this. I had a jury trial I was supposed to be on here in Vegas, and luckily I didn't get selected for that jury, but it was supposed to go 6 to 8 weeks, they said. And so that's it was a medical malpractice case, but still, I mean, that's into the weeds. But we're talking about royals involved here. We're talking about Trump, Clinton, you name them. We're talking about like names at the highest levels of power all over the world. And we're going to just whisk this away in 3 weeks and be done with it. So whatevs. All right, that's the way it is. So let's see. Her trial began more than 2 years after the arrest of Epstein on child sex trafficking charges. Epstein died from what has officially been ruled a suicide by hanging while being held in a federal jail in Manhattan in August 2019. Epstein years earlier had been a friend of two former presidents, Donald Trump and Bill Clinton, Britain's Prince Andrew, and a number of other wealthy, high-profile people. One of Epstein's accusers, Virginia Giuffre, earlier this year sued Prince Andrew in Manhattan federal court, claiming that she had sex with the royal family member 3 times in London, New York, and the Virgin Islands in 2001 when she was just 17 years old. Giuffre alleges that she had sex with Andrew at the direction of Maxwell and Epstein. And there you go. What did you expect, I guess? All right, let's continue, shall we? Did I link that one, actually? No. I didn't. Here we go. I'll link it because if you want to read it, there you go. But yeah, can you believe that? 2 weeks of prosecution, 1 week of defense, and then Monday's closing arguments. That is wild because, like I keep saying, this is probably the case of the century, right? Like the trial of the century. And yeah. Here we are. Welcome to the upside down, right? Welcome to the upside down. Okay, so here's another one. Let's go to this. This is from Bloomberg.com, and wouldn't you know it, right? We always, one of my favorite things to talk about is taxes, and wouldn't you know it that the old tax the rich torches and pitchforks, right? Is one thing they always bandy about as the way to fix the world. Well, tax the rich, even though the people bitching and moaning about tax the rich are the people who wrote the tax codes, or I've been defending and not changing the tax codes for our entire life, basically our entire life and their entire life. Anyway, I find it funny that lawmakers bitch and moan about the tax code, and you're like, crying out loud, you're a lawmaker, right? Like, reform the tax code, but nobody wants to do that. They just want to tax the rich. And as an example, Bloomberg here. Yep, you got it. This is what happens when you tax the rich. Zero taxes, golf, and beach houses create a crypto island paradise. After a meteoric year, investors are relocating to Puerto Rico for its savings on individual and corporate taxes. Yep, you guessed it. Oddly enough, people that have gained a bunch of money are not going to sit around and get shafted on the tax bill. They're going to move somewhere else where they don't get charged. Figure that out, right? Who knew that would happen? Yeah. Anyway, so the St. Regis Bahia Beach Resort in Puerto Rico boasts a golf course coast and ocean-front residences in a 483-acre nature reserve set along azure waters and lush rainforest. But what's perhaps the most appealing to those are now rushing to this property is the section on its website explaining tax benefits for island residents. Oh, now that was the case for Anthony Empman, who left Los Angeles behind and bought a condo at the resort in March. The chief executive officer of Ikigai Asset Management is now part of a burgeoning crypto community along Puerto Rico's North Shore, where the tropical weather is just a bonus. Entman and his crypto peers are taking a page out of hedge funds' books and seeking residents on the island to reap huge tax savings. High-earning investors in the U.S. pay up to 20% in capital gains tax and as much as 37% on short-term gains. In Puerto Rico, they pay nothing, and companies based on the American mainland pay 21% in federal corporate tax plus an individual state tax compared to just 4% on the island. That makes the move a no-brainer for some investors, especially as the crypto market's meteoric growth continues and Democrats push for higher taxes on the rich. Oh, tax the rich, tax the rich. Well, just like I said, just like I've been saying, if you continue pressing this class warfare, I'm talking about society, not you. I'm talking about society. If you keep pressing this ship, this is exactly what's going to happen. The rich people that have the means will say, fuck off, I'm gone, and they're going to go and do their thing somewhere else. They're going to play ball somewhere where they don't get screwed. And guess who's going to be left holding the bag? That's right. That's right. You and me. That's right. And because of course then we'll have a tax shortage, won't we? We won't be able to collect enough taxes to fix the roads anymore, and that it will be a crisis. And then so we have to. Well, I'll have to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and pay more taxes because the government can't get their shit straight, right? And no conspiracy here at all. It's just mismanagement. It's just a political class that is fucking clueless and doesn't know how to do anything. And there we go. As predicted, right? I've been saying this, and look, if you quote tax the rich, they'll just move. They're like, they're going to sit around for that. Why are you going to sit around for that? They're like, okay, I'm just going to give you an extra 20% of my billions or tens of millions. That makes perfect sense, doesn't it? No, for way less than that, you could move. Why would you sit around? It just doesn't make any damn sense. Anyway, but there you go. Now you know. So I've heard Portugal is a crypto tax haven, and I've also heard now Puerto Rico. So put those on your list if you bing some Bitcoin in the next whatever. Yeah, but there we go. Wild, huh? Wild. Yeah, exactly. For the roads. That needs to be a T-shirt. For the roads. Jesus. Oh boy. Okay. Anyway, what are we doing? All right, we're about there. Let's take a quick break and get a word from our sponsor, which is you. Be right back. Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up the two accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us. Okay, let's continue, shall we? Let's go to SciTech Daily, and this one's pretty hot. Black holes could be dark matter and may have existed since the beginning of the universe. Yeah, now we're talking. Now we're in business. Let's get out of the tax havens and into the ether, into space. Good stuff. So how did supermassive black holes form? What is dark matter? And an alternative model for how the universe came to be, as compared to the textbook history of the universe, a team of astronomers propose that both of these cosmic mysteries could be explained by so-called primordial black holes. Nico Cappelletti, Gunther Hasinger, and okay, these nice people, I can't pronounce any of their names, suggest that black holes existed since the beginning of the universe, and that these primordial black holes could themselves be the as of yet unexplained dark matter. The new study is accepted for publication at the Astrophysical Journal. Quote, Black holes of different sizes are still a mystery. We don't understand how supermassive black holes could have grown so huge in the relatively short time available since the universe existed, explains Hasinger. At the other end of the scale, there might be very small black holes, as suggested by observations from ESA's Gaia, for example. If they exist, they are too small to have formed from dying stars. And isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? Let's see. Our study shows that without introducing new particles or new physics, we can solve mysteries of modern cosmology, from the nature of dark matter itself to the origin of supermassive black holes, says Nico Cappelletti. Now, the crazy thing here is primordial black holes, we've talked about this in the past, is that they're supposedly black holes that are small, that are, maybe the size of a bowling ball or a basketball or something to that effect, and they're just out there all over the place. And that would account for the missing gravity signatures that they're looking for in dark matter. But it also opens up a whole other can of worms and questions in how they think black hole formation happens with the collapse of stars, and then it gobbles up more and more matter, and all the rest of this. But if you have ones that are small, the size of bowling balls out there all over the damn place, then it brings into question the formation of black holes entirely. And do we even understand what the hell these things are? So that starts to get pretty wild. And if they're maybe part of that initial Big Bang, and they're just out there everywhere, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. If you can have like a small black hole that maybe you could study, right? Maybe if you can find one of these things floating around out there, maybe you could study these things without getting close to a supermassive one. You know what I mean? So pretty exciting stuff. We'll see what comes of this. As always, we'll pay attention to this story as it develops. But that's one theory, is that not dark matter, but primordial black holes, actually small ones. And that's cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there you go. What James says, black holes, dark matter, shadow figures. Yeah, maybe. What's up? Robert says, the rich are well protected in the USA, but won't be in Puerto Rico. Well, it depends. How big is that fence, right? How many guns do they have inside? But yeah, I agree with you, right? You gotta give up some things to get some things, don't you? But anyway, so you want to be part of the show? Still taking your phone calls, 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org, and let's continue, shall we? Let's keep on trucking. I want some weird shit? Here's some weird shit. This is from New Scientist, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to sub up to this website, because they got just too much good shit all the time, and you can't find it almost anywhere else. Like everybody else aggregates this story, but it's like just paywalled. It's always paywalled, and then you can't. Even the Dwayne Dibley trick doesn't get you around the paywall. So, so this is pretty cool. Anyway, tardigrade is first multicellular organism to be quantum entangled. Yeah, you hear that? You hear that? That's pretty wild. All right, here we go. Let's read some of this. Yep, a tardigrade has been quantum entangled with the superconducting qubit and lived to tell the tale. It is the first time a multicellular organism has been placed in this strange quantum state, and raises questions about what it means for living things to be entangled. Tardigrades are microscopic animals that can survive extreme temperatures and pressures in a hibernating state called a tun, T-U-N. Rainer Dernke and his colleagues at Nanyang Technological University, Singapore, placed one of these hibernating tardigrades on a superconducting qubit, an element, and paywall. But I did find the actual paper itself, so here you go. And there you go. So sometimes you can just go straight to the scientific paper, which is pretty fantastic. I say I don't like to read these things, but let's read the abstract here. This is pretty cool. Entanglement between superconducting qubits and a tardigrade. Is it a qubit? Let's check Microsoft Mic and see if I'm saying this stuff right. Let's find out. Microsoft Mic, read it.
Entanglement between superconducting qubits and a tardigrade.
Qubits. Yeah, like Hubert? Yeah, that'll work. All right. Here you go. Straight from the abstract. Quantum and biological systems are seldom discussed together, as they seemingly demand opposing conditions. Life is complex, hot, and wet, whereas quantum objects are small, cold and well controlled. Here we overcome this barrier with a tardigrade, a microscopic multicellular organism known to tolerate extreme physiochemical conditions via a latent state of life known as cryptobiosis. We observe coupling between the animal in cryptobiosis and a superconducting quantum bit, and prepare a highly entangled state between this combined system and another qubit. The tardigrade itself is shown to be entangled with the remaining subsystems. The animal is then observed to return to its active form after 420 hours at sub 10 MK temperatures and pressure of 6 times 10 excuse me. Sorry about that. I'm choking on my coffee here. That's not a good look. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's continue. I'm totally fine. Don't worry about me. Temperatures and pressure of 6 times 10 to the 6th MBAR, setting a new record for the conditions that a complex form of life can survive. But anyway, pretty wild stuff. A tardigrade is the first multicellular organism to be quantum entangled. Now, this is absolutely nuts. And what does this mean for the future? I don't know. I really don't know. But this is nuts. This is pretty good stuff, and we'll see where this leads in the future. But quantum entangled with something that's not a living thing. So I don't know. Where can this lead? Let's file this one under how could this go wrong? Anyway, let us continue, shall we? Let me link this, and you can do this. There we go. And Yeah, it's too early for anything else. For sure, it's coffee. Promise. Maybe catch me at like 9 p.m. and then we'll have a different story. But right now, it's definitely coffee. So we are doing this. Let's go to SciTech Daily, and this is pretty cool. There's that paper, by the way, if you guys want to check that out, the actual scientific paper with the tardigrade. And good stuff. Here we go. Let's continue, shall we? 702-957-1037. You want to be part of the show, taking phone calls, and of course, on your comments on Discord. If you want to be part of this, you know what to do. All right, so this is pretty wild. Listen to this. ExoMars discovers hidden water in Mars's Grand Canyon, the largest canyon in the solar system. The ESA Roscosmos ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter has spotted significant amounts of water at the heart of Mars's dramatic canyon system, Valles Marineris. The water, which is hidden beneath Mars' surface, was found by the Trace Gas Orbiter FRIEND instrument, FREND, which is mapping the hydrogen and a measure of water content in the upmost meter of Mars' soil. While water is known to exist on Mars, most is found in the planet's cold polar regions as ice. Water ice is not found exposed at the surface near the equator, as temperatures here are not cold enough for exposed water ice to be stable. However, missions including ESA's Mars Express have hunted for near-surface water as ice covering dust grains in the soil or locked up in the minerals at lower latitudes of Mars and found small amounts. However, such studies have only explored the very surface of the planet. Deeper water stores could exist, covered by dust. And this FRIEND probe revealed an area with an unusually large amount of hydrogen in the colossal Valles Marineris Canyon system, assuming the hydrogen we see is bound into water molecules. As much as 40% of the near-surface material in this region appears to be water. Hear that? As much as 40% of the near-surface material appears to be water. That is absolutely nuts. And so the water-rich area is about the size of the Netherlands and overlaps with the deep valleys of Candor Chaos, part of the canyon system considered promising in our hunt for water on Mars. And there you go. That's holy. That's definitely holy smokes. There it is. Mystical Martian source waters. There it is. Pretty wild. And so this is, again, the size of the Netherlands is this canyon. And that's how much water is on this damn thing. That's wild, right? That's one of those things where they're like, yeah, Mars is too cold and too dry and all the rest of that. Yep, no vineyard, not going. What's up, Rivers? Not going. You got no easy making wine. Forget this. Yeah, it looks pretty amazing. This photograph from the orbiters, but. Well, you got water, so that means you can make rocket fuel. And, well, we'll see. Pretty wild stuff. Let's continue, shall we? Speaking of Mars, Let's go to our good friend Elon Musk. Not really our good friend, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. All right, let's see. Elon Musk wants SpaceX. This is from Interesting Engineering. Elon Musk wants SpaceX to reach Mars using carbon capture. Here's how it could work. And yep, and it might actually work if you can believe it. There you go. There you go. Let's see. Elon Musk says his plans for Mars can coincide with the global push to lower the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Quote, SpaceX is starting a program to take CO2 out of the atmosphere and turn it into rocket fuel, tweeted the CEO and tech billionaire on Monday. Please join if interested. It's unclear exactly how Musk plans to do this, but it's hard to deny the appeal of such a capability. Imagine a world where all excess CO2 generated by a nation or region is directly converted into rocket fuel and subsequently consumed during launches, leaving nothing harmful behind. Will also be important for Mars, added Musk in a tweeted reply to himself, encouraging high hopes. And it turns out hope might not be totally unmerited, since there are already ideas in play about how we might convert CO2 into rocket fuel on the surface of Mars. And there you go. There you go. There's how we fix the world, right? We suck out the CO2 out of the air and just put it into Elon's rockets, and boom, to Mars we go. To the moon. No, better yet, to the Mars. To the Mars. And what's going on, guys? There it is. The vineyards are underground. Yeah, that's it. The Mars vineyards. In any case, well, that's what's going on with the news so far. So if you're enjoying this, appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us today. And if you don't, sorry, I'll try to do better, I guess. But here we go. We're going to take a quick break, and you know what that means. This is Troubled Minds News. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we'll be right back. All right. Welcome back to Troubled Minds News. I'm your host, Michael Strange. Let's keep on trucking, shall we? There's more here. There's always more. Let's go to space.com. Space, the final frontier. See the bright comet Leonard near Venus in the night sky tonight. That's right, tonight. And this is published 8 hours ago, and it's Friday. Happy Friday. And skywatchers will be treated to a cosmic duet together December 17th as the brightest comet of 2021 and the brightest planet pair up for a night sky double feature. Comet Leonard, also known as Comet C-2021A1, will be visible from the northern hemisphere as it passes near the planet Venus, sometimes referred to as the evening star. The comet can be seen shortly after the sun goes down in the southwest sky, very low above the horizon. The comet will be located near Venus, making its closest approach to the bright planet between 9:08 p.m. Eastern Time, and the comet is expected to travel within 2.6 million miles of Venus. By comparison, the bright comet made its closest approach to Earth on December 12th, passing within a distance of about 21 million miles. Given Venus's brightness and prominence in the night sky, the planet may help skywatchers locate Comet Leonard, according to Earth Sky. Pretty good stuff. There you go. You guys want to see this stuff out there? It's out there. It's out there. Go look up. You Space's fake types. Explain this one. I want an explanation. I prefer an explanation. Anyway, all right, that's what's going on. You guys want to be part of the show? Comments on this or anything else? 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And that's funny. Okay, all right. There you go. Well, sorry. I'll try and do better, James. I'm sorry. All right, let's go back to this. Interesting engineering. Now, this is pretty wild as well. If you guys know anything about Bitcoin, these wallets, right? You can put a wallet, right, on a phone or on a hard drive, right? Like the actual crypto wallet. And so you can't access that wallet that has all the crypto money in it, right? The crypto coins, the Bitcoins, or whatever the hell it is, without having access to that hard drive or wallet. So if something happens to that device, you could lose a lot of money. And here's a good example of that. A man accidentally threw out a hard drive worth $357 million in Bitcoin. Ouch. And he's been searching for it for a decade. Funny, not funny? Oh, man. It's a nightmare scenario that might become increasingly common in a world of digital currency. A man threw away an old PC hard drive while doing a quick spring clean of his home in Newport, Wales, UK in 2013. Fast forward almost a decade, and he's still desperately petitioning to be allowed to go through his local landfill. The reason the man, 35-year-old IT engineer James Howells, wants to trawl through his local trash site is that the hard drive he threw out included a wallet with 7,500 Bitcoin. At the time he threw out the hard drive, the amount of Bitcoin would have been worth $665,000. Today, it would have made him a millionaire and would be worth a total of $357 million. Okay, look, I'm not suggesting anybody should break the law, but if this was my hard drive and I had to petition to get in there, you might find me in there anyway. They might have to arrest me. Like, come on now. Whoa. That's a lot of money. That's not like you get a new car. That's life-changing money. Yeah, that's wild. So I guess there's 357 million in Bitcoin swimming around in a landfill, and it's tragic, is it not? It's pretty tragic. That sucks. You want to be part of the show? 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. Put you on the show. I was talking about a little bit with Derek at the Night Stalker and Rohan about this last night. Look at this from CNBC.com. Yep. NFL will postpone some games over COVID surge, sources say. Uh-oh. Yep. The NFL said Friday that it will postpone 3 games this weekend due to a surge in COVID-19 cases among players and as the new Omicron variant of the virus makes inroads across the United States. The move by the NFL, the first postponement of professional football games this season, comes as the NHL said it will postpone games of several teams for the same reason, and days after the NBA postponed 2 games involving the Chicago Bulls due to a COVID outbreak that affected 10 players. More than 100 NFL players reportedly have tested positive for the coronavirus in the past week, and the Raiders-Browns game in Cleveland, originally scheduled for Saturday, will be played Monday afternoon. 2 games that were set for Sunday, the Seahawks and the Rams, and the Washington football team against the Philadelphia Eagles, will be played Tuesday night. Yep, quote, "We have made these schedule changes based on medical advice and after discussion with the NFL Players Association, as we are seeing a new, highly transmissible form of the virus this week, resulting in a substantial increase in cases across the league," the NFL said in a statement. "We continue to make decisions in consultation with medical experts to ensure the health and safety of the NFL community." Sounds like a nice PR touch, right? Sounds like exactly like you would expect from a large corporation as large as the NFL with all the millions they have. But yeah, well, interesting. I wonder what the vaccination rates are of these leagues. We were talking about it last night. I don't know. I couldn't fact check it, so I don't want to share it. But apparently, the vaccination rates are incredibly high in these areas, because, of course, right? They have to travel, they have to practice with each other, they have to do all these things. So it's one of those things where it's not necessarily mandatory, but it's damn near mandatory if you're going to be a professional athlete and rubbing sweat against other people's sweat constantly. There you go. So I don't know. I have no idea. But this seems unfortunate, let's say. Unfortunate. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. All right. Check this out. This is from the BBC. Everybody loves the BBC. Yeah, right? Everybody loves the BBC, except for the folks, less so the folks in the United Kingdom. So actually, let me link this as well. Let's put that in there. There we go. All right, there's the article for the NFL, if you want to check that out. Check this out. This is pretty wild. I've seen these things on Amazon, these anti-5G necklaces. And this article says they are found to be radioactive. You guys seen these things? Like these, they call them, what do they call them? Here we go. The Dutch Authority for Nuclear Safety and Radiation Protection issued a Oh, there you go. Too early for me. I told you it's coffee. Pardon me. Sorry about that. There we go. It urged people not to use the products which could cause harm with long-term wear. So they found these products themselves give off harmful ionizing radiation. And so these necklaces claim to protect people from 5G mobile networks, right? They're supposed to, suck up the 5G or something. I don't know. It seems pretty voodoo if you ask me. But if that's the case, it urged people not to use the products, which could cause harm with long-term wear. There is no evidence that 5G networks are harmful to health. Huh. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure I could find some scientific papers that say that. But anyway, that say the opposite of that, I mean. The World Health Organization says 5G mobile networks are safe and not fundamentally different from using 3G and 4G signals. The World Health Organization. The good old WHO. We love those guys, don't we? Everybody loves those guys. They haven't changed their tune every other week for, years now. But whatever. Let's see. Here we go. Despite this, there have been attacks on transmitters by people who believe they are harmful, this 5G network stuff. The products identified included an energy armor sleeping mask, bracelet, and necklace. There you go. Energy armor. A bracelet for children, branded Magnetics Wellness, was also found to be emitting radiation. Yeah, it's unfortunate, isn't it? Well, you're supposed to get these things to protect you from the 5G voodoo, but then they're actually just spitting out radiation. So there we go. What can you do? I don't know. Closest thing to tinfoil hats give you cancer, right? Exactly. There you go. Lacey's got it right. I love them almost as much as the CDC. Yep. The World Health Organization, our favorite, my favorite for sure. Let's see. Let's go to this. Let's continue. Remember, I said that eventually the climate war would be on my cold beer and my warm showers? Well, it's almost here. TheGuardian.com reports this. The Guardian. Such great news sources. I love this stuff. How much indoor air pollution do we produce when we take a shower? Oh, yeah, chemicals that evaporate from personal care products are among pollutants that form ozone in summer smogs. There it is. Most news articles on indoor air pollution tend to focus on candles. The air pollution effects on the products that we use in homes are far wider. The fossil fuel-derived chemicals that evaporate from printing inks, adhesives, coatings, cleaning agents, and personal care products are now dominating the pollutants that form ozone in summer smogs and some types of particle pollution, exceeding the effects of emissions from traffic. The PhD student Amber Yeoman has been studying the air pollution produced when we take a shower. Building a shower in the laboratory was not practical, so instead, Yeoman and her team relocated their equipment next to a shower room in the University of York. Sample pipes were installed in the shower room itself. Volunteers were each given the same supermarket products and asked to shower. There you go. Science, guys. Science. Starting with face wash and shower gel, followed by shampoo, conditioner, moisturizer, and then aerosol deodorant. Who uses aerosol deodorant? Anyway, one by one, volatile organic compounds were measured by Yeoman's equipment. Highly reactive limonene came mainly from the citrus-smelling shampoo, benzoyl alcohol from the conditioner, and ethanol from the moisturizer. This was different for each person, and those people that rinsed for longer produced fewer emissions. Other chemicals were seen too, possibly linked by laundry products used to wash each other's towel. They brought their own, of course, or their clothes. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Anyway, no matter what you do, you're polluting the world, and that's just the way. That's called entropy. Not that I'm saying we shouldn't. Again, of course, I do think, interestingly, that this is science. This is science. Let's take showers and call it science. Love it. Good stuff. All right, let us continue, shall we? Actually, what time is it? Yeah, it's about that time. Let's take one more quick break and get a word from our sponsor, which is you.
Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up the two accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us.
Okay, let us continue, shall we? There is more, because there's always more. Here we go. This is from aboutfb.com, and this is Facebook, right? Oh, Facebook, which has rebranded to Metaverse, but whatever. Taking action against the surveillance for hire industry. Oh, Oh, you mean this is happening? The global surveillance for hire industry targets people to collect intelligence, manipulate and compromise their devices and accounts across the internet. While these, quote, cyber mercenaries often claim that their services only target criminals and terrorists, our months-long investigation concluded that targeting is in fact indiscriminate and includes journalists, dissidents, critics of authoritarian regimes, families of opposition, and human rights activists. Oh, you don't say. I thought this stuff was just a conspiracy that this stuff happened. You know what I mean? Anyway, it continues. We disabled 7 entities who targeted people across the internet in over 100 countries. This is from Facebook. Shared our findings with security researchers, other platforms, and policy makers, issued cease and desist warnings, and also alerted people who we believed were targeted to help them strengthen the security of their accounts. Is this the targeted individual? Yeah, it is, isn't it? It certainly is. So recently there's been a increased focus on NSO, the company behind the Pegasus spyware, which software used to enable surveillance that we enforced against and sued in 2019. However, NSO is only one piece of a much broader global cyber mercenary industry. Today, as part of the separate effort, we are sharing our findings about 7 entities that we removed from our platform for engaging in surveillance activity, and we will continue to take action against others as we find them. Yes, there we go. Right. This is exactly this is the world we live in. And of course, there are no conspiracies because this doesn't get pushed to the top of the news cycle. But that's what's going on here. Yeah, exactly. Right. That's cyber mercenary. Imagine what's the dress of a cyber mercenary? Like sweats and like a hoodie. Is that what it is? It's a Venti Starbucks, in their hand instead of a sidearm or something. I don't know. What's going on, guys? Matt says it's all the same poison, talking about the shampoo and stuff. Yeah. Yep. Well, anyway, let's see what we got time-wise. We got just enough. All right, let's, yeah. So I don't know. What do you guys think? 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubleminds.org and keep on going. Let's keep on trucking. Let's see. So, taking action against the surveillance for hire industry. And so the odd part about this is that they say that this stuff is actually kind of on par with like state actors, and they say that maybe state actors can do this type of stuff, but then also private corporations are now just hiring this stuff out to where they can, pretty much anybody can do this. You pay these jerks to basically come after people, and that's that, right? So pretty wild stuff. Check it out if you're into that.
My husband gave me an Ancestry DNA kit for Christmas.
Oops. Here we go. And speaking of Christmas gifts, let's go to this. There's a little video. We're going to watch this, and this is pretty wild. This is from WCVB, and that's looks like Massachusetts, a news station over there. But let's just listen to this. Let's watch the video. Actually, let's go with that so we don't get taken down for copyright. And let's do this, and let's listen and see what happened.
My husband gave me an Ancestry DNA kit for Christmas back in 2017.
Dana Clausen hoped to learn more about her heritage. She believed she was French, Irish, and Dutch, but the DNA test revealed she was actually German, English, and Scottish. And that's not all.
I didn't know any of these names, not a single one. And I had a half-brother pop up, so I knew something was definitely off, but we didn't know where that half-brother was coming from.
She asked her father to do a DNA test. What came back upended her life. The man who raised her as a single dad was not her biological father.
Everybody was blindsided in my situation. My father, who raised me, had no idea he raised somebody else's child for... I'm 50 years old now. I found out when I was 47.
She eventually figured out who her biological father is.
I'm lucky that my biological father is alive and he's accepting of me and has given me all my health information.
Late discovery adoption or an extramarital affair. Perhaps you were raised by Aunt Martha. Cousin Mary was really your mom. That happens.
In his soon-to-be-released book, Uprooted, Peter Bonney shares his personal odyssey for the truth after learning his mother used artificial insemination to conceive.
Oops. Okay, there you go. Massachusetts woman was blindsided by results of DNA test kit, and she's not alone. So this is a buyer beware. Be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it, and it might not be as you expected. You guys know how I feel about DNA test kits anyway. I think it's weird. I think that giving your DNA or your source code out freely to companies to tell you that you're, some mix of human is odd. But, well, to each their own, and go get it. Go get it. Go get it, ladies and gentlemen, and people of the world. Go get it. So before you think of sending me something for Christmas, which you shouldn't, I'm just kidding, make sure it's not one of these things. Not doing a DNA kit for anybody, sorry. Okay, let's there we go. All right, let's continue, shall we? Let's go to SciTech Daily, and let's do this. First true millipede discovered. New species with more than 1,000 legs found deep underground in Australia. That's weird, no? That's pretty strange. The discovery of the first millipede with more than 1,000 legs is reported in scientific reports this week. Prior to this, no millipede had been found with more than 750 legs. This seems a little bit weird to me that, well, we're doing like a Guinness Book of World Records for the centipede with the most legs, but awesome. Paul Merrick and colleagues discovered the millipede 60 meters underground in a drill hole created for mineral exploration in the mining area of the Eastern Goldfields province of Australia. It has 1,306 legs, more than any other animal, and belongs to a new species that has been named, Eumillipes Persephone. Let's see if I said that right. Let's get some help from our good friend Microsoft Mike. Yeah, see, AI doesn't have to be our robot overlords. It could also be just helping Mike pronounce big words. Oh, did it break? Oh, it broke. Damn it. What's up, Nick? I see you there. Hey, Michael, love the show. Appreciate that. Matt says, can't do a DNA test on a robot. Yeah, it did. All right, I guess we're going to wait. Microsoft Mike broke. Yeah, anyway, we're going to have to just assume I pronounced it incorrectly, because that's usually what I do. Analysis of the relationships between species suggests that the E. Persephone is distantly related to the previous record holder for the greatest number of legs, the Californian millipede species. Yep. Broken. Microsoft Mike broken. Damn it. The author suggests that the large number of segments and legs that have evolved in both species may allow them to generate pushing forces that enable them to move through narrow openings in the soil habitats they live in. There you go. And there's a close-up of the row of legs, and if that doesn't give you nightmares, I'm not sure what will. Anyway, there you go. Got a couple minutes left. If you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037, troubleminds.org. Click the Discord link. Let's go to this. Let's go to The Independent. The Independent. What a great news source, as always, right? So much great news out there these days. Facebook's whistleblower, Frances Haugen, is super scared of the metaverse and its censors. Quote, when you go into the metaverse, your avatar is a little more handsome or pretty than yourself, and you take your headset off and go to brush your teeth at the end of the night, and maybe you just don't look like yourself in the mirror as much, Miss Hagen said. So Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen is super scared of the metaverse, she said. She disclosed a huge trove of files about the social media giant, which alleged that the company prioritized inflammatory content over the safeguarding of its users, which I've been saying all along, right? I've literally been saying this about engagement algorithms for a very long time, that people are rewarded for fighting, and they think that's the way discourse needs to be, and obviously it's not. It doesn't have to be. But, you smash that angry emoji, you get plus 5 points. We've talked about that. This continues. She also shared documents that suggest Instagram made girls with body issues feel worse about themselves, and revealed that Facebook had a hidden system whereby high-profile users could flout its rules. Yeah. Yep, exactly. And these practices, which then translated to the metaverse, give Miss Hagen cause to fear. While it is not yet to exist as promised, the metaverse has been idealized as a virtual space that mirrors the real world. Quote, so just imagine this with me, she says. When you go into the metaverse, your avatar is a little more handsome or pretty than yourself. You have better clothes than we have in reality. The apartment is more stylish, more calm. And you take off your headset and you go to brush your teeth at the end of the night, and maybe you just don't look like yourself as much in the mirror. That cycle, I'm super worried that people are going to look at their apartment, which isn't as nice, and look at their face or their body, which isn't as nice, and say, I would rather have my headset on. And I haven't heard Facebook articulate any plan on what to do about that. Ms. Hagen also expressed concerns that individuals would not be able to consent on whether to have Facebook's sensors, such as microphones, in their homes. Quote, this company, which has already shown it lies to us whenever it's in its own interests, we're supposed to put cameras and microphones for them in our homes, she said. Yep, there you go. There you go. I don't know. Is this this is your future? This is our future. This is the future we're staring down, and more surveillance. And as we know, this shit's always listening to us, right? It's like the dog, right? The dog's always waiting, listening to everything you say. I'm talking to Mrs. Strange, and we're just having a nice conversation, and the dog is like at attention, listening to every word, waiting for a command she knows, right? That's like Alexa, right? That's like all the rest of these. It's like your smartphone. It's constantly listening, waiting for a command it knows. Just like the dog, except my dog's a lot cuter than all that. And she's a little wild because she's a puppy still, but I digress. Point being, this stuff is always listening because it needs to listen for particular commands. And what does it do with the things that don't trigger commands? I'm sure it just deletes it, right? It puts it into what they call stubs, I believe is what they call it. And if it doesn't trigger a response, then it just, wink, wink, deletes it from the servers. Anyway, where are we at time-wise? Perfect, right on time. It's almost like I've done this once or twice, right? All right, let's go to this one. As always, you know me. If you want to check out my sources, I've linked them in the chat. If I missed one, let me know and I'll drop it in there. But it will be in the podcast feed, of course, when this hits, and you'll have all my links, all my sources. And as always, please check them out. If you're interested, check out where I got this stuff from. And there you go. Now we'll file this under WTF is going on in the world. But this is from UPI.com. Engineers to fix Golden Gate Bridge's strange humming sound in 2022. What the fuck? Okay, all right. That's super cool. Spanning majestically across the San Francisco Bay, the Golden Gate Bridge is one of the most famous and picturesque sites on the West Coast. But for 2 years, it's also been emitting a strange sound that will finally be silenced in the coming months. Construction in 2020 to stabilize the bridge during strong winds installed thin slats between the handrail and driving deck. But in those gusty winds, the slats have given the bridge an unexpected and unwanted side effect: a strange and some say eerie humming sound. Scientists have now come up with a way to silence the hum. In 2022, crews will make another addition to the bridge: thousands of U-shaped aluminum clips, about 1/8 of an inch, with rubber inserts, which will silence the hum. Officials said the work will take about 6 months and should be completed sometime in late 2022, and will cost about $450,000. Yow! There we go. Let's see. Is this? Let's listen to this to see if we can actually catch some of this sound. 2 minutes. Let's try it.
Since early June, a ghostly sound has drifted across San Francisco. And social media lit up with a range of reactions, calling it soothing, unsettling, even alien. But it's not supernatural. It's the city's most iconic landmark, the Golden Gate Bridge.
Okay, that was probably enough. We heard what that sounded like, and that sounds pretty wild. It's like this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Okay. Anyway, all right. At least I know where it's coming from, and there you go. James says that would hurt. Glad I don't have to cross that bridge. Sorry, James. It's a bridge too far, my friend. But okay. And that's Troubled Minds News. And like I said, if you don't like the show, I'm sorry. sorry. I'll try to do better. If you do, well, thanks. And as we finish, this is the end of the week for Troubled Minds. It's Friday. Happy Friday to everybody out there. And thanks for all the great energy and love you guys put into this show, and all the amazing chat, all the amazing phone calls you do. You all know who you are. Thanks to everybody for subbing up to Twitch, Rockfin, to Patreon, and to again, it is not required. You do not have to send money. Do not, if you can't, just. If you want to help, listen to the podcast feed. It's completely free. There are some ads baked in. You can find that on Spotify or iTunes, Spreaker, or whatever your favorite podcast, Stitcher, whatever your favorite podcast thing is, and that will send some pennies my way as well. So there are, put on an old show you haven't heard while you're cooking or something, or while you're at the gym or whatever. Just put some headphones on or put it on a speaker and listen to some old Troubled Minds. There's some pretty good shows there that you probably haven't heard. And the only person who's heard them all is probably me, and so I'll bet there's an old show you haven't heard. If you want to go back and check some of that stuff out, it does help, and I appreciate that very much. So there we go. Let's do the thing and get the hell out of here. So what I expect from you guys is this. Take care of yourself so you can take care of other people. Have a fantastic weekend. Don't let the world get you down. It's not as bleak as it seems. If we got us here, we can get ourselves out of it. I believe that. I truly believe that. And it starts with talking. It starts with communicating. It starts with not being a stompy, walking CNN talking point know-it-all, and or Fox News know-it-all. No, those are not the answers. I'm sorry. Just because some asshole on the TV tells you their answers, notice the TV. It's not an accident I'm on TV. It's sort of a joke. But point being, if you get it on TV, it doesn't make it true. Sorry. And as we finish, thank you so much for making this easy to do. Thank you so much for all the love you send my way, like I said, and thank you so much for just being you. That's the most important thing. Have a great one, guys. Pleasure is always mine, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a fantastic weekend. Michael Strange, out.